Hey there, what is up you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to give you guys a 1 year review slash update on the F80 M3 that's right here. There's my brother's F80 and here's mine. To those people who follow me on Instagram, you guys know that there's been a lot of mods done to the car. If you guys can't tell, it's not on stock wheels anymore, it's not on stock ride height anymore. Taillights are changed, we got a new spoiler, but I'll tell you guys full details here in a sec. Guys, catch it. I have a screenshot of everything that I've done to the car. I write down exactly the date that I did something to the car, and then I write down when, where, and the price. And I also keep it in a binder, just one day in case I want to resell the car or something, it'd be nice to have for the new owner, or even for myself, to keep records. Cause sometimes, even the little things that you do on the car, sometimes I just forget. So I want to start off by date. So I bought this car in May of last year, and then this year we're already in April, so it's been about a year. So we're approaching a year. And the first mod I did was actually back in May, right when I got the car. The car didn't have tint, it was fishbowl, and I went with 15% carbon ceramic tint. That was the first mod I did. I paid $260, being a sedan. I kind of want to get tint in the front windshield, maybe like 70%, because it still lets a lot of heat in and light, especially like I said, here in Texas, the weather it gets up to like 110 degrees during the summers, which most of my summers I spend in Minnesota. Even then, still here, when I come back around August, September, there's still quite a bit of heat. The next mod on the list are the blue M1 and M2 buttons and the blue push start stop button. I paid $20 for these on Amazon. I didn't go with IND or all them brands, it's just a piece of plastic, so 20 bucks for all three of them on Amazon. I'll have the link here in the description below. Then we have the Tommy L Garage mud flaps. I haven't installed them on the rear yet. I definitely love them, especially with his bigger wheels and tires. There's a lot of kickback from the rocks. I think they look more of like an OEM plus, so it looks like something that kind of could be there from the factory. And I really like how they look. They actually have a purpose to them, which is great. Moving on to my next mod, I picked up these GTS taillights. I personally like them a lot. There's people that either love them or hate them. I do feel like a bunch of people are running them, but personally, I love them. I still have my OEM taillights in case one day I get tired of them and just, put them back on and, just resell these, but I think it makes the back end look a lot nicer. Moving on to the front of the car again, I picked up these paint match reflectors from IND. I think it's definitely a must. Them orange reflectors make this thing look very ugly and stand out. So that was my next mod. So starting with the first mod on the engine, I guess, would be my SSR charge pipes and SSR intakes. I just went with SSR because I wanted something black. I hate personally, when something stands out. My car is black. If it would have been, like San Marino blue or something, then I probably would have gotten them paint matched, but obviously my car being black sapphire metallic, I just went with black SSR intakes and charge pipes. I will say the intakes are really nice. It's funny because once you put these intakes, then the miles per gallon definitely drop, because you always hear the swooshing noise from the intakes, and that definitely makes you get after it a little more. And but who cares about miles per gallon at this point, Then I picked up this CS style carbon fiber spoiler from Horizon Motorsports. I think it's a little bit more aggressive than the stock one, and even the M Performance, the OEM BMW M Performance one. And I think that's the perfect OEM plus. I believe the M Performance one is a little bit, too subtle, and this one is a little bit more aggressive, but definitely not something, like huge or anything. And the finish is great. So far I've had no issues with it, because the carbon fiber spoiler on my 135i from Turner Motorsports, the carbon fiber started peeling and cracking after like 6-7 months. So this one's holding up really well. I personally think it completes the back end really well, and it's more of an OEM plus fitment and look, and that's what I'm going for. Up next is probably my favorite mod of the car so far, and that is these BBS RID wheels. They're 19s by 9.5 in the front and 19 by 10.5 in the rear. I believe I have a 12mm spacer up front and 15mm spacer in the rear. I purchased these from Matt Mormon from Obsessed Garage. So if you guys follow Matt Mormon or know about Obsessed Garage, he had this on the M2 CS that he gave away. And I believe he said something about the carbon ceramic brakes not clearing the wheels. And when I got them, they had maybe like 100 or 200 miles, brand new. And they're actually on Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2s. So I thought it was a great deal picking them up. They were brand new, and you know, who better to pick them up from than Matt Mormon himself. And I think the fitment is great on my car, you know, on the rear especially. And the car is lowered on EMD lowering springs. That was another mod that I did. The car is lowered on EMD lowering springs, as you guys can see. Even the fronts look great. Another thing that I did was the crank hub. I upgraded the crank hub. I went all the way from El Paso, Texas to Orange County, California to S5X Performance. Follow them on Instagram. Great people, great service. I drove 12 hours just to get my crank hub done. I went with a Vargas crank hub and crank bolt capture. So hopefully, you know, that I don't plan on going more than stage 1 at some point. The car's stock and will remain stock for a little bit. I think these cars come with plenty of power. It's actually hard to put the power down because, you know, sometimes when I step on it, the car slides a little bit, which is really fun. But, you know, I don't want to be sliding all over the place and all that stuff. For now, I'm very happy with the 440 horsepower BMW claims. Actually, I want to be making a video of how much this car actually makes stock. So hopefully I can get in a dyno here soon and, you know, just stock. See, BMW claims 444 with a competition package, which is my package. So I'm excited to see if it does make 440 horsepower to the wheels, or, you know, people say BMW always underrates these cars, so we'll see that. But like I said, the crank hub has been addressed, and that's a peace of mind. People say it spins, some people don't. Some people say they've been running a stage 2 tune for 60,000-70,000 miles with stock crank hub and no problem. But personally, I plan on keeping this car long term, so I didn't want to take that chance, and just to have that peace of mind, I upgraded that crank hub, and that cost me about $2,000. But like I said, I'll leave a screenshot at the beginning of the video with each mod and how much I paid for it and when I did it. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I'd be glad to help you guys out with anything. So moving on into the interior of the car, my brother gave me these for Christmas. They are the M Performance pedals. I love them, you know, definitely better than the plastic ones that come from the factory. I recently changed my mats. I really want to get the M Performance mat as well. But definitely these pedals were a nice upgrade. Then as we come above, we have this M2 CS steering wheel. I picked it up for about $560, which I thought was a great deal. I guess the next plan would be to change the trim to the carbon fiber trim. But as we move to the center, when I bought it, it came with these M Performance shifter. But you know, same thing, Alcantara, carbon fiber. That's great. And then moving on to the center here, my armrest is upgraded from Horizon Motorsports. It is an OEM BMW Alcantara carbon fiber with the M tricolor stitching. And as you guys can see as well, here we have the Alcantara armrest with carbon fiber. That's a nice little upgrade, and that's what I was going for an Alcantara carbon fiber look. And here's, you know, carbon fiber. Everything in here is OEM BMW, including the steering wheel, which is another thing that I was planning on upgrading the steering wheel, but I wanted to stay as close as possible to an OEM, so I went with a BMW M2 CS steering wheel. It doesn't look much difference, to be honest. It feels a lot nicer, maybe a little bit thicker, but like I said, the next plan would be to change this trim to the carbon fiber one, and then the silver middle trim for black, just to kind of have that black look. So that will be the next modification maybe. But for the interior, these stock competition seats are still holding up great. They're very comfortable, keeping them nice and tidy. So I guess just to summarize it, I'm still loving the F80 M3. Like I said, I think it makes plenty of power. Stock, we're still on stock brakes. There's still a lot more things that I'd like to do to it. You know, eventually get a CS hood, and that's probably on the longer end. Then, you know, I probably would like to get pure stage 2 turbos, you know, 2-3 years down the road. But for short term, I think the car looks great. You know, the car's been ceramic coated. I also changed these grills. When I bought it, it had the the kidney grills with the M colors on them, and I did not like that. You know, I went with all blacked out. And then it also came with the M Performance splitter, which is still on there, thankfully, because after I lowered it with the EMD lowering springs, the car does scrape here and there. You got to be very careful. So when I drive it, you know, I try not to go up steep hills or steep driveways. Thankfully, the car is not low enough so it can still come into my garage. The car is garage kept, and I plan to keep it that way. And like I said, you know, the car is looking great. I ceramic coated it myself, and like I said, here are the carbon fiber mirror caps. I still love the car. The car has the M Performance exhaust as well. So exhaust wise, I don't know if I've ever heard an equal length mid pipe with an M Performance exhaust muffler. So I've heard the equal length mid pipe and the M Performance exhaust muffler sound great. That would actually be something here in the plans as well. Eventually, I would probably like to get a short shifter as well, probably a big brake kit. But like I said, all those things are mostly long-term and unnecessary as of yet. Right now, the car really needs nothing. Like I said, the crank up is done. Hopefully, I get a boot mode stage 1 tune eventually, but definitely not looking at something soon. And like I said, the seats are great. The interior I like. The sound I like. Diffuser, I would like a Vorsteiner diffuser, but I believe they're out of stock. And if I'm not wrong, I don't think they're coming back. I found a few also that I've seen on Marketplace and, you know, on the forums and stuff, but most of them, that carbon fiber peels and cracks, and I think for $2,500, $2,250 plus tax, I think that's definitely not worth it. You know, something that expensive, you'd expect that would last at least a little bit longer. So far I have the M Performance one, and that's great. I love it. So like I said, long-term plans, I have a few, you know, pure stage 2 turbos at some point. Suspension wise, probably Olin's road and track coilovers. But like I said, right now for the EMD lowering springs, it's great. The car is only 25,000 miles, so the car still is fairly new, and I rarely drive the car. You know, I have my 1 Series right there, and like I said, I'm enjoying both. I will make a video on that car here soon as well. I'm gonna replace a few things, so stay tuned and leave some comments down below to see what other things you'd like to see or some questions you guys might have. Thanks a lot. Catch you guys next time.